All right, Chapter 527, Florida State Statutes. Definitions. As used in the chapter, liquefied petroleum gas means any of the material which of the component of the predominant aim of the following hydro covered the mixture of the same as propane, propanol, butanes, none of the butane or isobutanes, and butanols. Person made as individual butanylene. Person made means an individual, firm, partnership, corporation, company, association, organization, cooperative, consumer to mean for the person's last purchased liquefied petroleum gas, liquid vapor state, industrial commerce, and domestic use. Department means of the Department of Agricultural Consumer Science Services for the qualification mainly of the person who would pass for the compensation examination administrator of the Department of the Employee with the license Category 1, 2, and Category 5 of the business. Category 1 liquefied petroleum gas means any of the person selling the offering delivered to self-delivery stationary location liquid petroleum gas due to the consumer, the industrial, commercial, or domestic use. Any of the person leasing, offering, lease, exchanging, offering to exchange any of the apparatus supplying with equipment for use of the liquid petroleum gas. Any of the person installing, servicing, altering, modifying, and all apparatus, piping, tubing, appliance, and equipment for the use of liquid petroleum gas or natural gas. Any of these persons installing the carburation equipment, or any person requiring requalification cylinders. Category 2, liquid petroleum gas dispenser, meaning any of the person engaged with the business operating liquefied petroleum gas dispensing with the purpose of the service of the liquid product for the consumer, the industrial, commercial, domestic use, and selling, offering to sell, leasing, offering to lease for the appurtenancy and appliance equipment to use of liquefied petroleum gas, including the maintained cylinder storage rack at the licensed business location for the purpose of storing cylinders filled with licensed business for the sale or use at a later date. Category 3, liquid petroleum gas exchange for the operator means any of the person operating the storage facility for the purpose of the store-filled propane cylinders not more than 43.5 pounds of the propane capacity of 104 pounds of water capacity awaiting the sale of the consumer for the facility used for the storage emptying of the filled with the containers which are offered for the exchange. Category 4 of the dealer appliance equipment that means any of the person selling, offering to sell with the leasing, offering with the lease apparatus, supplying with equipment to use of the liquid petroleum gas. Category 5, liquid petroleum gas installer means any of the person engaged in liquid petroleum gas business whose services include with installing, servicing, altering, modifying appurtenancies, piping, tubes, and tank of the equipment to use of liquefied petroleum, natural gas, selling the offering, selling, and leasing for the offering, selling apparatus, and applying for the equipment used in liquid petroleum and natural gas. Category 6, miscellaneous operator means any of the person who engaged in the operation, manufacture liquid petroleum gas applications, equipment for the fabricator, with the repair of the test of the vehicle, cargo tank, requalifier, liquid petroleum gas and cylinders, or on a pipeline system operator. Manufacture liquid petroleum gas appliance and equipment means any of the person, state, manufacturer, offering, sale, and selling of the tanks and cylinders other than containers necessary and appurtenances for the use of storage, transportation, delivery, such of the gas of the consumer, for the manufacturing, offering, sale, and selling apparatus, appurtenances, and equipment for the use of liquid petroleum gas to the consumer. Wholesaler means any of the person defined in subsection 2 selling the offering, selling of liquid petroleum gas for the industrial, commercial, domestic use of the person to the consumer. Requalification cylinder means any of the person involved with the retesting, repair, requalifying the liquid petroleum gas tank. Cylinders manufactured under the specification of the United States Department of the Transportation, fabricator, repair, test of the vehicle's cargo means any of the person involved with the hydrostatic testing, fabrication, repairing, or qualification motor vehicles or cargo of the tanks that transported liquid petroleum gas when such tanks are permanently attached to the forming and part of the motor vehicle. Safety note, later labor laws to prohibit minors from dispensing propane. 6, pipeline system operators miscellaneous. Any of the person who owns operating liquid petroleum gas pipeline source for the use of the transmit liquid petroleum gas for the common source for the customer serve the 10 more customers. Liquid licensed person license period means of 1 to 3 years from the issuance of the license. All right, 527.02, license penalty and fee. If the unlawful of any person engaged with the shape of the activity defined 527.01 to 6 through 11, the person obtained with the Department of the license with engaged one or more of the business for the sale of liquid petroleum gas cylinder within the volume of 10-pound water capacity, 4.2 pounds liquid petroleum gas capacity of the lease is exempt from the requirements of the chapter felony of the third degree, punishable as provided in Statute 775, 082, and 083 and 084. To initially with the willfully engage in any of the said activity without first obtaining the appurtenancy licensee for the department. Any of the business location of the person having the multiple location with a separately license that must meet the requirements of the section. Such licenses shall be guaranteed any of the applicant determined the department of the competent of the qualified trustworthy who fails to who filed with the Department of Surety with the bond and insurance affidavit other proof of insurance herein and specified paid for the such license following the annual license. All right, license category, license for a year, category 1, 400, category 2, 400, category 3, 65 category 4, 65 category 5, 200 category 6, 200. Or the department may refuse to issue the initial license to the applicant with the under investigation jurisdiction of the action with the constitute violation of the chapter until such of the time the investigation is complete. The department shall waive the initial license fee for the 1 year with the honorable discharge of the veteran in the United States Army for so forth of the spouse and surviving spouse of such veteran, current member of the United States Force Army with the served on the active duty spouse of the member of the serving spouse of the member of the United States Armed Forces, if the member of the died while serving on the active duty of the business, the majority ownership of the held by such of the veteran spouse of the surviving spouse of the department received the application, the format prescribed by the department of the applicant form must be included with the applicant's signature under the personal penalty of the perjury of the supporting documentation qualified with a waiver. The veteran must provide the Department of the copy of his or her Department of Defense Form 214 with the issue of the United States, the Department of Defense, other acceptable identification specified by the Department of Veteran Affairs. The spouse and surviving spouse of the veteran must provide with the Department of copy of the veteran's DOD Form 214 as issued to the U.S. Department of Defense with another acceptable form of identification specified by the Department of Veterans Affairs, a copy of the valid marriage license certificate verifying that he or she was lawfully married to the veteran at the time of the discharge of business, and he must provide the Department of proof of the veteran spouse of the surviving spouse veteran holds the majority ownership of the business and copy of the veteran of the Department of Defense Form 214 is issued with the United States, the Department of Defense with another applicable form of identification specified by the Department of Veteran Affairs, applicable consumer with a valid copy of the valid marriage license and certificate verifying the spouse and survey spouses of the veteran was lawfully married and veteran at the time of the discharge. The department shall waive the license and renewal fees. The license who is an active duty of the member of the United States Armed Forces spouse of such member that is and was a member of the United States Armed Forces serves on active duty 2 years preceding the renewal date. Qualified by the fee waiver under the subparagraph of the license who form a member of the United States Armed Forces served on active duty with the 2 years preceding annual renewal date must have received an honorable discharge separation of the discharge from the United States Armed Forces. Or if the serving spouse of the member of the United States Armed Forces, such a member serving active duty at the time of the death and died within 2 years preceding the surviving spouse renewal, or the license seeking such waiver that must apply with the form prescribed by the department and include the applicant's signature under the penalty of the perjury supporting document. Any license submitted with a material chain with the information license before the day of the renewal must submit with such chain with the department with the manner described in the department along with a fee of the amount of $10. The department shall adopt the rules specified by the agreement. The department will demonstrate with a lack of trust and unwillingness to engage activities requiring a license, qualifier, identification under this section. Or 527-0201 qualifier master qualifier certificate examination. In addition to the requirements of 527-02 for any person applying with a license with engaged in category 1, 2, and 4, 5 the activities must prove the competency by passing a written examination administration by the department and or its agents of grade 70% and above the H area tested applicant of the examination should submit with the $20 non-refundable fee. The department shall rule to specify the general activity competency to cover the general and examination relatively weight to be assigned with the grade of the areas tested. Application with examination competency may be involved with the individual by owner partnership with any of the person employed with the license applicant. Upon successful completion of the competency examination, the detailed department shall register the examiner the qualifier registration automatically expired. The individual determined if the active the employment in the area of the examination period exceeding 24 months if they're failing to provide with the documentation continuing education qualifier re-registration experience the individual must apply with successfully complete an examination with the department in order to re-establish the re-qualifier status. Every business or organization licensed category 1, 2, and 5 that shall employ with all the time full-time qualifiers successfully completed with the examination corresponding category or license held by the business or organization. Person may not access the qualifier for more than one license location. Qualifier registration example: the 3 years day of the issuance of qualifier renewal of the qualification upon the application. The department pay when the $320 renewal fee with the document completion minimum of 16-hour approved continuing education course defined by the department of the rule during the previous 3-year period. Application renewal must be made with 30 calendar days before expiration. Person failing to renew before the expiration must reapply, take the qualifier examination in order to reestablish qualifier status. Alright, requalifier of the business must actually function in the supervisor capacity with the other company employee with the performing license activities. Separated qualifiers shall be required every 10 such employees. All right, in addition, all the other requirements of each of the Category 1 and 5 licensees must all the type of the applications of the licensure of the identified by the Department. One master qualifier for a full-time employee with a licensed location person shall be the manager, owner, otherwise primarily responsible. Overseeing the operative license location must provide the documentation the Department has provided. The rule master qualifier requalification shall be in addition with the requirements of the subsection. In order to apply the certification master qualifier applicant with a re-registered qualifier minimum 3 years immediately preceding submission. Application must be employed with a license Category 1 or 5 licensee with a licensor. Application of the license must pass the must qualifier competency examination. Must qualifier's examination shall be based on Florida laws, rules, adopted codes governing liquid petroleum gas safety, general industrial safety standards, administrative procedure for the applicant must successfully pass the examination grade of 70% above. Each applicant master qualifier registration must submit to the Department a non-refundable $30 examination before the examination. Upon successful completion, master requalifier examination, the Department shall issue the examining the master requalifier registration. Master qualifier may transfer the license holder to another upon beholding it empty and employed by the company providing written request of the Department. Master qualifier registration example expires 3 years after the date of the issuance, may be renewed by the submission of the Department of documentation completion of at least 16 hours, approved the continuing education during the 3-year period, proof of employment, $30 certificate renewal fee. The Department shall define the rule proof of the course of continuing education. A vacancy in the qualifier master qualifier position, business organization which resolve the Department with the qualifier, the master qualifier shall immediately report with the Department with the departing qualifier, master qualifier, and the licensed company. If the business organization no longer possesses the duly designated qualifier required for the section is liquefied petroleum gas shall be suspended by the order of the Department in 20 working days. The license shall remain order suspension terminated with the Department of the license reinstated the vacancy requalification requalifier position of the period more than 20 working days constitute immediately threat of the public health and safety welfare. Any Category 1, Category 5 in licensee with no longer possessed with a master qualifier currently employed with the qualifier with acquired within Section 60 days, which with replace the master qualifier within company failed to replace the master qualifier within 60-day period. License of the company is suspended by the order of the Department. If the license shall remain suspended upon complete master qualifier has been employed in order to the suspension has been determined by the Department and another license reinstalled and stated. All right, 7. The Department may deny the refuse and renew and suspend and revoke requalifier, master qualifier registration following causes. Violation of any provisions of this chapter, any rule within order of the Department. Falsification records relating to qualifier and master qualifier registration. Individual having the competency qualification of the Department may request the transfer of such qualifications of the existing license holder, making written to request the Department of such transfer. Individual competency examination on the file of the Department may use the examination new license application after the making the application written of the Department. All examination are confidential and exempt from the provisions of Statute 11907-1. Duplicate license or qualifier, master qualifier registration certificate requested by license a fee of $10 must be received before the issuance of the duplicate license certificate. All revenues collected for the hearing shall be deposited in the General Inspection Trust Fund for the purpose of the administrative of the provision of the chapter 527.021 registration transfer of vehicles. Every liquid petroleum gas bulk delivery vehicle owned or leased with liquid petroleum gas licensor must have the registry of the Department over the licensing application when placed in service. For purposes of this section, liquid petroleum gas bulk delivery vehicle, the many of the vehicles used of the transport of liquid petroleum gas on any public street, highway, liquid cargo tank, with the tank is mounted on the ventral truck chassis, integral part of the transporting vehicle with the tank constitute the whole part, stress member all used in frame of the permanent part of the transporting vehicle. The vehicle, the Department who fails to register the vehicle with the Department subject to the penalties of Statute 527-2013. The Department shall issue the decal placed on each of the vehicle and inspect the document found to be on the compliance with the applicable codes. 527.03 Renewal of license. All license required with the chapter shall be renewed annually, biannual, triannual, elected with the license subject to the license fee prescribed in Statute 527.02. All renewals must be same requirements with the condition annual license, license and yeared. All license allowed to expire will become inoperative because of the failure to renew. Fee with the restoration of the license is equal to the original license fee must be paid before the licensor may resume operations. Or 52704, proof of insurance required. Before any of the licenses required except for the Category 4 with the dealer applicants, equipment of the Category 3 liquefied petroleum gas cylinder exchange operated by the applicant must be delivered to the Department satisfactory evidence of the applicant is covered with the primary policy of the bodily injury, liability, property damage for the insurance of the coverage of the product for the operation in respect of such business is used as in any of the unauthorized due to business and state amount less than $1 million. The premium of the such insurance is paid, and all insurance certificate affidavit and other satisfactory evidence for the applicable insurance coverage shall be accepted. Proof of insurance in lieu of the measure insurance policy of the applicant must deliver an insufficient bond with the amount of $1 million payable to the consumer or agriculture with the applicant principal surety company authorized to do business in state of the surety with the bonds with the committee continue the applicant complying with the chapter rules departments with the respect with the conduct with the such business and shall identify with the hold harmless all of the person of the loss of the damage of the responsible applicant failure to comply. However, the aggregated liability surety may not exceed $1 million. If the insurance policy is canceled, otherwise terminated, bound by the insufficient of the department, that may require the proof of the insurance new bond to be filed. If the license holder fails to comply with the department, shall be canceled the license issuing with the give and the license and holder written notice of the unlawful engaged to competency with the license. A new bond required as long as the original bond remains insufficient. This is in force. License holder insurance coverage is required that the subsection cancel, otherwise terminated, but the insured within must notify the department within 30 days of the cancellation and termination. Before any license is issued for the Category 3 liquid petroleum gas exchange operative, the applicant must deliver the department satisfactory evidence for the applicant is covered the primary policy and bodily injury liability, property damage liability, and cover the product for the operation with the respect for the license is issued, then authorized to do business to save the amount not less than $300,000 for the premium insurance of the paid and insurance certificate, affidavit, other satisfactory evidence for the insurance coverage of the be accepted. Proven insurance in lieu of the insurance policy for the applicant must deliver the good sufficient bonds the amount of $300,000 payable to consumer agriculture with the applicant principal of the surety company authorized to do for the business and state surety of the bond must continue condition under the application of complying with the chapter of the rules of the department in respect of the conduct of such businesses must identify with the hold harmless all persons or loss damage for a reason for the applicant failure to comply with however the aggregated liability surety and may not exceed $300,000 if the license insurance policy is canceled, otherwise terminated bond with is insufficient. The department may renew proof of the insurance new bond to be filed. If the license holder fails to comply with the department shall cancel the license issued with the gave the license holder with a written notice unlawful engaged in the business without license. New bond is not required as long as the original bond remains sufficient. And in fourth, license holder insurance coverage required by subsection cancel, otherwise terminated. Insurer must notify the department within 30 days of the cancellation of the termination. Any person that has given cause for the action with the bond brings suit with the principal surety. The copy of the bodily bond duly certified with the department shall be received. Evidence of the court of the state without further proof of department shall furnish the certified copy of the bond payment law fee for the making of the certification. Such copy. General powers and duty of the department and empire with enforce all of the provisions chapter promulgated with the presumed the chapter for the safety, handling, and storing, some of the utilizing, transport, servicing, testing, repair, maintaining liquefied petroleum gas equipment, liquid petroleum gas systems. Reasonable standard for the competency required for the person within gas system safely engaged with the business, the handling, installing, storing, utilizing, transporting, servicing, testing, repairing, maintaining liquefied petroleum gas equipment, and liquid petroleum gas systems include but not limited to training, licensure, testing, qualifying of the such person. The department shall have the powers of the authority expressly conferred on it by or responsibly implied with the provision of the chapter. The department may conduct such investigation may deem the power to determine where any other person of the enemy person such a chapter with the rules upon pursuant to search secure information of the lawful administrative of the such provisions rule promulgated pursuant to this chapter. 4. The department may collect and propose, publish, disseminate information relating to subject matter, any of the duties imposed upon it by its law.